Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
Replacing a leaking oil pan is one of the best ways to ensure your engine gets the oil it needs, and it can sometimes be done in a few simple steps. For the lucky few, the source may be a loose oil pan drain plug, a dipstick tube that's detached from the engine block, or an oil filter that's not screwed in or has a cracked gasket. Detecting oil leaks from an oil pan. To detect oil leaks from an oil pan, start by cleaning the engine with a degreaser, possibly at a self-service car wash. When the external oil reappears, follow the trail to its climax. Hopefully, the culprit will be one of the offenders listed above. If the evidence leads to the top of the oil pan, however, the solution will require more labor. How do I replace an oil pan gasket? A service manual is a valuable resource when removing the oil pan. Other parts and brackets may need to be removed first to access the pan and its bolts, the locations of which are illustrated in the manual. Vehicle-specific procedures will also be described in the manual, for example if the crankshaft needs to be turned before the pan can be removed. Also read the instructions supplied with the oil pan gasket replacement to see what sealants and chemicals, if any, are required for the job. The steps here show how to replace the oil sump seal on a front-wheel drive car. The job is a bit simple, but it can be complicated. Be aware of a few potential pitfalls. Try not to bend the oil pan when removing it. Attempting to lift the pan with a screwdriver can bend the mounting surface. Tapping it with a mallet can actually break the pan if not all the bolts are out. Check the number of bolts and locations in the manual if the pan doesn't release easily. Once the oil pan is off the vehicle, check for metal shavings to reveal other potential problems. Also clean all sludge from the pan and inspect for cracks before reinstalling. Step 1. Get the right oil pan gasket replacement. Gasket materials vary according to the types of metal they are intended to seal. Proprietary gaskets are supplied with all necessary sealants. Step 2. While the oil is draining, remove the splash guard and headliner. Step 3. In front-wheel drive vehicles, the oil pan is often connected to the transaxle. Other accessories, such as the exhaust manifold support and the air conditioning support, may also need to be detached. Step 4. A service manual will help you identify all the oil pan bolt locations. Some may be hidden behind other parts. Step 5. A removal of the wheel arch liner parts facilitated access to the outboard passenger side bolts on this vehicle. Step 6. Once all bolts have been removed, the tray can be lowered. If necessary, tap it lightly with a mallet to break the seal. Step 7. Scrape off any seal residue and thoroughly clean all sealing surfaces with solvent. Also clean the inside of the oil sump and check for cracks. Then install the new seal according to its instructions. It uses ordinary grease to hold it in place. Step 8. Use thread sealant, if specified, then tighten the oil pan bolts to specification in a spiral pattern, starting in the center. Reattach all accessory brackets, fill the oil pan, start the engine and inspect for leaks. In conclusion, changing an oil pan gasket may seem daunting, but with the right tools and a bit of patience, it can be a manageable task. Remember to take your time, follow the steps carefully, and ensure everything is properly sealed to prevent leaks. Regular maintenance like this not only extends the life of your engine but also saves you money in the long run. Thank you for watching, and we hope this guide has empowered you to tackle your oil pan gasket replacement with confidence.